What is going on, you guys? Petplatypus here, and it is time for my first ever Hunter x Hunter chapter review, chapter 350. Okay, so this will be a review of Hunter x Hunter 350, but first I want to mention the Dragon Ball vs. Yu Yu Hakusho video. That's still not out. I scrapped it. Now, I know that sounds crazy, like, what the fuck, it was, like, gonna come out, like, yesterday, and it's gone now? Yeah, it is scrapped. I'm still gonna make the video, but I was watching it back, and I was replying to you guys in comments just, like, a few days ago. I was like, yeah, you know, it's almost done, it'll be out by, like, Tuesday, or whatever, and before that, I was like, yeah, it'll be out by Friday, and I was like, no, I just have to delay it a couple days. Like, I was talking about, like it was about to be done, and it was about to be done. But as I was watching this video, I was just thinking to myself, man, I'm not explaining that very clearly. That sounds a little too one-sided, or, you know, this part could have been explained better, or, oh, I forgot that part, or, oh, shit, I recorded this part with one category that I also I said the same shit in another category, and it would have been repetitive. And it was just kind of a mess of a video, and I was being lazy just thinking, like, oh, it'll be fine, it's fine, you know, whatever, I'll put it out. But when I couldn't upload it on Tuesday because I had to go to a doctor's appointment, like a last minute thing, and I was sitting there waiting for like a fucking hour, and I was thinking about the video, I was just like, you know what, I'm just not going to post it. I was just sitting there like thinking, I couldn't post it today, I'll post it tomorrow, and I was thinking about the video, and I was like, you know what, no. You know, so I was just like, fuck that, I'll redo it. It won't be like the old guy's video, I'll try to get it out, you know, within the year and all that, but yeah, it's just going to have to take a little bit longer. But what you would have gotten would have been terrible, so I mean, not terrible, but it wouldn't have been nearly as good as I wanted it to be. So, next thing I want to talk about, obviously, you know, chapter 350, but I should qualify a bit and talk about the Dark Continent arc. Oh man, Togashi. I just read pretty much the whole arc up to this point to catch up, like, before recording this video. I found the spot where fucking Gon and Jing were talking on top of that tree, and I was like, okay, that's where the anime ended, and I just read from there, and I was reading it, and it's like, Togashi, like, dude, you don't have to go into such excruciating detail about every single thing. Like, okay, the G5 is becoming the G6, and then you have, I think, this kingdom, or this country that's called, Kakian or whatever, and they have 14 princes, and beyond Netero, like his son or whatever, is doing his thing, and he gets captured, and most of that stuff is fine. All the stuff that furthers the plot and brings new information is fine, but when you're sitting there like, oh yeah, the V5 is going to become the V6, and we're going to do this, and that, and this, and that, and I can't even think of what they said, because I already forgot, because it was just way too much information at one time, and just walls of text, like, granted, I read a ton of chapters in a row, so maybe it's just fatigue from reading a ton of chapters, but like just 2 or 3 chapters in, I would see like a big wall of text, and I'd just be like, oh my god, like, it's like a book, it's ridiculous, and the amount of detail he goes into, like, some people might say, oh, but it's complex, and that makes it super cool, and it's like, no, that just makes it complex, it doesn't make it good. It's very convoluted and ridiculous, and you know, then you have other shit going on, like you get into the Zodiacs, and it's like, well, they have a traitor, and it's like, okay, that's fine on its own, but then they have to do like a process going through like who's the spy, and that gets super convoluted. Everything here starts off as a good idea and then becomes super convoluted. Jing wanting to team up with these guys, and he's like, no, I want to be the number 2 right below beyond Netero. He's like, I want to be number 2, and it's like, okay, that's fucking cool, Jing, badass. And then that becomes stupid and convoluted with the money, and some want money, and some don't want his money. And it's like, that could have been totally cut out, and it's, oh my god. It's good, though. I mean, there is good shit. I like Jing being there. I get the basic idea that the G5 became the G6, and they're going to do things behind the scenes for different countries. You know, the Dark Continent thing with the 5 calamities, and the people who came back all twisted like fucking ropes and shit. All that stuff is cool. The diary or journal or whatever about the continent, the West and the East, and the one might still be being written by a member of the Freaks family. That was really fucking cool. Seeing a little bit of Gon, I mean, that was okay. He seemed kind of smart. Like, I don't know, Gon has matured, but he seemed very calm and I don't know. It was kind of weird, but maybe it's just because I haven't seen Gon in a long time. But yeah, that was pretty cool. A little, like, kind of, not really a fourth wall joke, but a little joke where I'm forgetting her name, but, you know, his caretaker, she's like, you're gonna write me like a 30-volume fucking like story about your fucking adventures as a hunter. That was kind of funny because I think Hunter x Hunter is around 30 volumes, so that was kind of funny. But regardless, Gon, barely saw him. Seeing more of Kurapika was pretty good. I mean, there was that stupid moment where he's fucking, the cow dude confronts him, and he's like, oh, I see you're still, you know, looking for the, you know, the eyeballs of your clan, and he gets all pissed off, like, watch what you fucking say, and it's like, dude, he didn't even fucking insult you. Shut the fuck up, you're being a whiny bitch. But after that scene, Kurapika was pretty cool, and being pretty smart, and being Kurapika and not terrible. But, you know, and seeing more of Leorio was cool. Still too downplayed for my liking. Still need more Leorio, but they're part of the Zodiacs, and they're moving forward. And a lot of shit happened within these chapters, but at the same time, it was bogged down by that info dumping that Togashi does that is just so not interesting or doesn't lead to anything or is pointless. But we did get introduced to the princes. So you have basically the Zodiacs going to the Dark Continent with Beyond as a prisoner. And then you've got Jing's group, which is Beyond's group pretty much. They're going. Then you've got those two. Then you have the 14 princes, I believe. And then Kurapika's squad is infiltrating as bodyguards for them. So I get what's going on. And it was cool seeing Biscuit again. That was pretty cool. And also Basho with his fucking pompadour and shit. But yeah, it's just, oh man, it's just too much, man. Just too much. We get introduced to Kurapika, who he's bodyguarding, and it's going to be basically the mom and the prince because it's like a baby. And he or she, I think she said a she, but it's fucking Hunter x Hunter. I don't know what any of all these princes could be guys for all I know, and fucking the way Togashi draws guys sometimes, but yeah, it's interesting. It's hard to talk about it because all the bullshit, but it was an okay chapter, I guess. Yeah, a lot of ums and a lot of uhs and yeahs and shit like that, but you know, it's hard to talk about. I liked seeing Jing. It wasn't in this chapter, but Jing was a badass when he mimicked Leorio's move, but he did like a multi-fucking rapid shot version of it. That was really badass. Jing is cool. He's like the shining fucking beacon in all of this shit so far that has been like funny, and he has good dialogue, and he's been like a badass and everything. So he's been dope as fuck. But everything else has just been talking and talking and talking with very little personality. I noticed, like Hunter x Hunter. Maybe it's something the anime did for the series, but like there is like no personality coming from any characters outside of like Jing and Leorio. Everyone just kind of talks like, yeah, we got to do this and we got to do that, and they have weird designs, but all the Zodiacs, like I couldn't tell you what their fucking personality traits. Okay, like the little tiger looking dude seems to be a little hot-headed, and the monkey dude seems like he's kind of not lazy, but just maybe a little impatient, or he's not caring, or like he's like, yeah, these are my powers, you can figure out the rest. I don't know what kind I don't know what kind of personality that trait would be, but like everyone else though, they just kind of talk and they're just kind of there, and like every single character that's talked, like I couldn't tell you the difference between the dude who had to study the fucking Dark Continent journal and give that presentation in the first couple chapters. I couldn't tell you the difference between his personality and the fucking big dude on the Zodiacs with the big afro and shit. Like it's every character just delivers their dialogue. There's like no character gags. There's no fucking uniqueness to any of the... It's fucking crazy how boring these characters are, to be totally honest. And I think that's another problem, is that they're all just narrating shit. They're all just saying shit, and it's just... I don't know, man. It's crazy. I like Hunter x Hunter still. And like I said, the arc overall is fine, and there were definitely interesting parts, like the Dawn Freaks shit, what Jing is doing, Netero even having a son, period. I barely talked about that. Beyond Netero seems kind of cool, and just, there's cool shit going on for sure. And the Dark Continent, it seems like they're going to be going pretty soon. Oh, the Calamities are cool. And, you know, it's not all about like, oh, that's cool. But, you know, when I say that's cool, I also mean at the same time I'm saying, oh, that's well written, or oh, that's surprising, or oh, that's a cool twist, you know. So all that stuff is good, just way too much other stuff bogging them down, and a ton of characters introduced that probably aren't going to amount to anything, because that's Togashi's track record. But, yeah, not much else to say. It's a good chapter, though. It moves things along decently. That was another problem reading these chapters. Reading them all back to back, I really felt like they were just spinning their wheels and not pushing anything forward for like 3 or 4 chapters in a row. Hunter x Hunter is the slowest manga I've ever seen, because I've seen some of the other chapters, and I've of course watched the anime version, and that was condensing chapters into episodes, and it's still one of the slowest series I've ever read. Like, anybody who's like, oh, One Piece is too fucking slow, if you like Hunter x Hunter, you're a fucking hypocrite. But that's, you know, all I'm saying. But, yeah. This Hunter x Hunter chapter, don't really know what rating to give it, but it was solid. And, yeah, I just think that all this complex shit is just complex for the sake of it, and it's not fucking actually good, you know, but it's not bad either, so yeah, I'll go with the safe fucking rating, give it a 7.5, fuck it. I'll go with that vanilla white bread rating, and yeah, I'll call it a review. So Dark Continent so far is interesting, definitely not, you know, my favorite start to an arc I've ever seen in a fucking series, but, you know, we'll see what happens. And, yeah, that's all I have to say about it. So, Dragon Ball vs. Yu Yu Hakusho video will come at some point. Dark Continent is, it's okay. And this chapter itself was pretty good. So that's all I have to say. Hunter x Hunter's back. You'll probably get about 4 reviews out of me, and then Togashi will go on hiatus again, so whatever. I don't know if Toriko is going to come out at any point today, but I'll review Toriko too if that comes out, so look forward to that. And, yeah, tell me what you guys thought of this Hunter x Hunter chapter in the comment section below. How many chapters do you think Togashi's going to do before he, you know, decides to have back problems again, or the new Dragon Quest gets announced, or whatever the fuck? So, yeah, you can tell me that in the comment section below as well. You can follow me on Instagram or add me on PSN. I'm petplatypus on both. You can give this video a thumbs up. Share it on social media. Both those would help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already, or if you like what you've seen here. And I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.